Hey guys, Kaoiji here. We just want to finish up an 11-hour stream over on Twitch, and basically I have a lot of thoughts about what wound up happening during the Gigantix spawns. While I'm very proud of my friends over on the Japanese servers, and I'm also very proud of my friends over on Ship 1 from PSO2 Global, after 11 hours, 10 spawns, and only 1 kill, I have quite a few thoughts when it comes to how Gigantix and groups are pretty much formed. So I have 1 or 2 opinions so far. I personally think the Gigantix fights themselves are fun because there's really no reason to feel like I need to learn an entirely new fight, and everything's telegraphed simply because they are enemies that I fought before. I had some people come into my chat and say that they didn't like the fact that the gigantic enemies were basically reskins of things that were in Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis already. Personally, on that topic, I really don't care if things are a reskin. You're playing Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis, and a lot of video games use reskinned enemies as a boss type, so just where does that come into play? I mean, maybe I'm missing out on what they were saying, so if somebody can actually explain it to me down in the comment section below without being completely rude, that'd be great. Now, one of my opinions I wanted to posting on Twitter, where I then said, personally, I feel like Gigantix spawns create a more toxic environment than was initially intended. I feel like this can be remedied by allowing for a meteorologist, which is an actual NPC within Central City, to give a 5 to 10 minute warning for each thunderstorm that's about to wind up happening, and then also allowing for locked rooms for alliances and groups. As of right now, it's really difficult to be able to take pre-made groups and then put them into an area without anybody, joining in, whether or not somebody's trying to disconnect or somebody's trying to do it via live stream. It also becomes a really weird scenario where you then have to whisper somebody who may either be starting the game because you want to start in Central Paleo, or even if you wind up seeing somebody who's trying to get their mining done for the day, you wind up having to ask them to leave and say, hey, you can't be here right now because we're trying to get Gigantix to spawn and actually clear them. While asking nicely really isn't a problem, the problem really becomes is you wind up having to disturb their gameplay because that player or the players might wind up having it happen not once but multiple times in a day, and that really does suck for that one player or the players that have to experience that, and a lot of them might be new to the game and we don't want to put them through that kind of scenario. Maybe even having a rank 2 exploration zone might be worthwhile having as well. Another opinion that I wind up having is that I do feel like some of the Gigantix are really close calls when it comes to even getting a kill in the first place. There is literally no way that I can think of in my mind to be able to justify random groups being able to form together and then being able to get an actual kill. The only way that I personally foresee this is you wind up getting a group of friends, or you wind up putting a pre-made group together that then is willing to wait the entire duration of getting a spawn to happen in the first place. To go on even further is that you basically have to have everyone at least at 4-star gear plus 40, and then up even further than that. The one kill that we actually got, for me personally, we had to then take everybody that was from the chat that was 1400 BP and above and basically say, hey, let's go. The part that hurt was that we had to wait for about 2 hours before they wound up getting a spawn in the first place. Luckily enough, everybody was having conversations amongst ourselves and we were watching this YouTuber by the name of Ordinary Sausage, so it was actually a really good time. Besides the point, it's one of those scenarios where you still need a pre-made group to be able to even kill the Gigantix in the first place, which brings me back to my earlier point of having pre-made rooms or locked rooms, if you know what I mean, because you basically need everyone being in a particular skill set or gear set to be able to say, hey, these guys are now able to get this done. So I mean, like, unless you have everybody that's completely geared or even has a really good understanding of the game, I really do think it's going to be a difficult time for a lot of non-pre-made groups or even random pickup groups to be able to get gigantic kills in the first place. Personally, I feel like Gigantix were a really fun implementation for a boss where basically you have to speed kill it, which is, I don't know, to me, I think that's a ton of fun. But where it stands right now with the amount of effort that you have to put in to not only forming a group but then actually making sure that everybody has the gear to be able to do that, it's too much of a hassle right now, to be completely honest with you. And to be honest with you, this is just some of my open thoughts that I wind up having out there, because I don't think this is as bad as the first week of the actual game being launched. I just think that this is going to be a system that needs to be refined going forward. And then as more people become more familiar with Gigantix and then having the gear to be able to even get them down in the first place, I think it'll be much easier going forward. The wait times do suck, and I really do hope that we get the meteorologist to be able to do anything else until we know a thunderstorm is going to wind up happening, because waiting anywhere between 55 minutes to 2 hours and then also then having another instance where 3 of them can spawn within a 30-minute window, or then even having them be be able to spawn during an urgent quest, I think there needs to be some parameter set on when they should and shouldn't be able to spawn. If it were guaranteed once per hour, I think it'd be a lot easier to be able to justify, you know, waiting the hour. But when you don't know if it's going to spawn 3 times in 30 minutes or back to back, or then even wait 2 hours to get one spawn, an otherwise fun boss then basically becomes not fun. I think I went off on this video, you know, long enough. I just started talking and going on a tangent, but we actually wound up getting our first kill, and that was really cool, and I'm happy about it. One person wound up getting the Straga wand with a level 1 fixa on it, and then somebody else wound up getting the Gigant armor. All in all, I think it was a good time. I just think that certain things should be better going forward. But yeah, those are my opinions. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, and as always, please keep it civil. But with that, stay awesome, stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. I'm out.